There is this saying that Foggy Nelson is the heart of the Daredevil show. And in this video, I want to do a character analysis. Now that the Daredevil show is out, I want to do a character analysis about why people think that Foggy Nelson is the heart of the MCU. You probably noticed that he is one of the few light-hearted characters. If you compare him to, when you look at a comparison between Foggy and Matt and Karen, Foggy is the most light-hearted character of all three. He is also the most emotionally and mentally stable one of the main trio. If you look at Karen, Karen is a very emotionally damaged human being. When you first look at her, she was being framed for death. She got her hands covered in blood. So when you compare Foggy to Karen, Foggy is the more emotionally stable one. He's the one cracking jokes. I always think that he is what Humpty Dumpty from Puss in Boots would look like if Humpty Dumpty is a human being. He has a very, very round baby face. I was very sad when he got killed off in the first episode of Daredevil Born Again because he just got an upgrade. He looks very good with that beard. There's a reason lots of people like growing beards because they don't exactly have a very, very well-defined jawline. And once you shave that beard, you look younger by like 5 or 10 years, and sometimes you look too nerdy or too baby-faced. And so I was thinking about why, what makes the audience connect with Foggy Nelson so much? What makes people so attached to his character? And perhaps even more than most other supporting characters in the rest of the MCU. I think that Foggy is more like Daredevil's Aunt May and Uncle Ben merged into one, even though he's not that old. He's more like, he's Daredevil's bro. He's Daredevil's BFF, and usually killing off the BFF is more devastating than killing off the love interest. Every once in a while, I would hang around on YouTube and look at my favorite scenes between Foggy and Matt. And one of the first scenes is, it was the very episode where Foggy, right after Foggy discovered that Matt is actually Daredevil, and you can see how angry that Foggy was, that he felt betrayed. And there were lots of people who were angry at Foggy for being angry at Matt. Most people would think that you should feel awesome that your best friend is a superhero. But what lots of people did not understand is that Foggy and Matt are matters, and they're supposed to be practicing the law. And the moment you start becoming a vigilante, you're basically operating outside the law. And Matt kept this secret from Foggy. And it is not a small secret. Foggy, if he told Foggy about this earlier, Foggy would not have approved anyway, but it's probably going to take a long time for Foggy to adjust, but he'll come around eventually. So you can tell that was the point where Foggy and Matt's relationship starts to grow more tense, more distant. And I rewatched all three seasons of Daredevil without rewatching The Defenders, so I kind of forgot what happened between Matt and Foggy and Karen in The Defenders. I only remembered that both Foggy and Karen were trying to dissuade Matt from being Daredevil, which I find I have to admit, it was kind of annoying, and maybe I should find some time to rewatch The Defenders to see what they were like, because I think that is still a very important chapter in Foggy, Matt, and Karen's life. And I remember when Foggy was getting mad at Matt for lying to him, for keeping the secret of Matt being Daredevil to him. And I remember about Foggy getting angry and getting worried about losing his friends, and that part, it was very emotional. And I think why people are so attached to Foggy is that people look at him as Matt's conscience. You see everything that Matt went through. You see all the sacrifices that Matt made to make Hell's Kitchen a safer place, but you also see Matt's self-destructive tendencies. This is something you see in a lot of superhero stories. most of the main characters prefer being a one-man army, and it's isolating them from the people they loved and the people they want to help. And it takes some time for the main characters to come to the understanding that they're better off banding together. And to me, Foggy is the character that keeps Matt in line. It wasn't Karen, it is Foggy, because like I said, Foggy is the most emotionally stable character of the trio, and he's also very lighthearted. He's the comic relief that brings the show some comedy and lightheartedness when most of the show was very, very dark and depressing. And it creates a very, very massive contrast. To me, Foggy represents a safe space from all the tragedies and cruel things happening in Hell's Kitchen. I always remember this conversation when Karen first got to know Foggy, and they were having a drink in Josie's, and Karen said that she everywhere she looks around, she sees danger. She feels very, very unsafe and threatened. And Foggy was trying to ease Karen into the environment, and he was telling Karen no, that some of the people he knows inside the bar, and you can feel this sincerity and this warmth. And sometimes as a person who was sometimes more socialized, you can really feel it is something that really connects you with the character. And that is something that you don't really see in most of the characters in the MCU and in the Defenders universe. Most of the characters are kind of cold or emotionally damaged at some point. So when I first heard about the show, when I first heard about Daredevil Born Again, and when I first heard about them bringing Foggy and Karen back, one of the things that I'm most looking forward to is seeing them interact with the rest of the environments in the MCU. I want to see the three characters, Matt, Foggy, and Karen, operating as Nielsen, Murdoch, and Page. I want to see the daily life. I want to see Matt being Daredevil, and at the same time, I want to see Matt's double life as working with Foggy and Karen as lawyers. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see that happen. And hopefully in season 2, Foggy gets to come back, and eventually they are brought back together and restart the business, hopefully. And I also want to talk about the flashbacks when Matt first met Foggy in college. You know, it was very funny when Foggy told Matt that he was handsome, and you can tell that Matt's mistaken Foggy for being gay. You know, I remember when they were taking a walk outside at night, and they were talking about the girls that they were chasing, and Matt laughing at Foggy about saying that this girl, I remember, is a Greek girl that he was dating, and he was laughing, leaning into Foggy and telling Foggy how hot that girl was. You know, it just, the moments felt so real. And that girl, I guess he was talking about Elektra, because I remember about Elektra being Greek. And I remember Matt and Foggy talking about their aspirations, about them wanting to be lawyers and calling themselves avocados of law. You know, there's so many warm and lighthearted moments. And to think about them being separated forever in the future of the Born Again show, it was just heartbreaking. So, and I really hope that it was just a fake out. And that's about it. If you like my video, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm planning on talking about Karen for my next video, so be sure to follow up. And thank you for watching.